mark there at one time, and then all of a sudden, you saw what happened to Jordan Spieth, and the next thing you know, he's in the lead, and from that point on, I was a nervous wreck. I was sitting on the edge of my seat on every shot, and the amazing thing for Danny was that the rest of the day, he basically never missed a shot. He hit lots of greens. The one green he missed on 17, he had a great up and down. He made a few birdies when he needed to make birdie, and he looked completely confident and comfortable on the golf course today, and so I was overwhelmed by the way that he played and the success that he achieved today. Once you get that green jacket, that's it. You're a Masters champion for life, and that's just a great thing for Danny. It's a great thing for JSU. It's just a great day for me as well.
What was that moment like when you realized that he had won? Did you kind of go back to the first time when you were recruiting him to come over?
I thought about the first day that he was on our campus. Danny got to school 2 days late. We had some NCAA eligibility questions that we had to try to get answered. So we had to keep him at home until he got cleared by the NCAA, and he came in late. He got there early. I think it was either a Wednesday or Thursday, and we had already been to school a couple of days. He came to the golf course, and on the first day he was there, he shot 69 on a golf course that he'd never seen before. And my thoughts were that day was this boy's going to be something special. And he really never changed my opinion of that for the next 2 years. He was a great player to have on our team. He was very confident. He encouraged our players. He had that confident spirit that kind of manifested itself in our other players, but believing that they could accomplish and be successful as well. And he had that. He had a great competitive nature and a great confident attitude about everything that he did. He was very fun-loving. He liked life. He loved to work out in the weight room and the fitness room, and so he was just always he was a terrific guy to have in our program.
What does this mean for Jacksonville State to have a Masters champion to be attached to the program?
Really, it's kind of overwhelming right now for me to even think about it. I've tried to kind of get some way to digest what has just happened, and my excitement level has just been out the roof today. And now suddenly, it's hard to put a gauge on what this means for our university and what it means for our golf team and our golf program, and for me personally. It's just a great day.
For him, I guess, what's your relationship been like with him since he left JSU?
Well, it's we've stayed in contact. He's an easy guy to be around. He's an easy guy to talk with, and his even though he has been very successful as a professional golfer, he's still the Danny that came to JSU and started his collegiate career here, and basically I've always kind of felt like that we gave him a platform where he could kind of launch his professional career, because he was 17 when he came to our university, and he matured. He got bigger and stronger as a player, and he played 60-something competitive rounds for us in 2 years and put him in the Walker Cup while he was still at JSU. And so, things just got better and better for him as a collegiate player, and and as part of our university and our golf program, he wore our colors with a great deal of pride, and I think he will tell you now that the 2 years he spent at JSU basically got him off and running as a player.
He's had quite a remarkable week. I know you were out there at Augusta, I heard. Just what'd you say to him this week when you saw him?
Well, when I saw him on Wednesday, we just talked about his wife just gave birth to a baby, and I asked him how things were and how the baby was and how his wife was, and we just chit-chatted about things that were going on in his life, and I congratulated him on being a new father, and the thing that he said was that Coach, I wasn't planning on playing if Nicole hadn't delivered early, and so he said, but it's a good thing that I'm here because this is the only sleep I've had now since I got over here. So I'm sure it's one of those situations at home with a new baby crying all the time. He was kind of he was just glad to be at Augusta.
That's a good excuse to let the wife take care of the newborn.
Yeah, and the thing about Danny was I kind of got the feeling that his plans were made late to come. He had told some people that if she didn't deliver the child before the Masters, that he was going to stay home and forego it this year. And so, as fate has it, she delivered on March the 30th or 31st, and then that just kind of freed him to come over here. But I don't think he really spent a lot of time focusing on the Masters when your wife's fixing to have a baby. You're somewhat distracted. So I think he was just glad to be here, and he looked great physically, and he was. He always when he was here, he always talked about the British Open being his favorite major, and I'm anxious to talk with him now and to see what he thinks about his favorite major now. I would have to think that Augusta and the Masters may be his favorite.